Hello everyone, welcome to IQRA IAS. So we will be continuing the lecture that we have left yesterday. Okay. Right. Okay, fine. So are you all able to hear me properly? Yesterday we have discussed. Okay. My voice is very clear, right? All of you who are watching me, please let me know that if I am very clear so we can go ahead. Right. I can see that voice is very clear in my mobile phone. I hope that is also same with you. So in our last class, that is yesterday, we have seen economy related what is the main subjects and how these particular topics of mains of economy which are placed under GS paper 3. GS paper 3 consists of what? Economic development. When you do economic development, obviously you have to harness the resources which are given by the environment. But environment is what? Basically getting degraded over a period of time, harmed and unjudiciously used. That is the reason we are facing a lot of global warming, climate change, such kind of problems. And to overcome this, we need technology. So yesterday I have already told you that all these technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment are completely interrelated. And with the help of technology only, that is space technology, we are able to prevent, mitigate the disasters, we are able to forecast, etc. so and so forth. And internal security, that is nothing but we are defending our borders with the help of what? Defense technology, which is also a part of technology here. So all of these are placed under one particular paper, that is GS paper 3. Yesterday we have discussed all of these topics in length. So those who are watching me for the very first time, so you have to watch the current affairs, economic current affairs weekly, which is given as L1, L2, L3. It is given like that. Along with that, sometimes I will also be giving lectures on strategy for economy, for prelims and mains, because I have already told you. Okay, over the years, the number of questions on economy are always increasing, or they have been constant around 20. 20 questions, if you take 2 marks, that is 40 marks, which is nothing but half of the cutoff that you have to get through the prelims. So that much importance is there with regard to economy, and I have already told you how in the GS paper 3 the number of questions that they are asking in all of these topics. Obviously disaster management they are not asking, but remember this point stampede which has been happened during the RCB victory parade, and also the Pushpa 2 was released at that time when Allu Arjun came. That was also a blockbuster movie, so there stampede also happened. So stampede, and in Iran Israel war we are seeing that Iran has been shaking because of lot of missiles that was shooted by Israel. So quakes, okay, earthquakes related, as you can get the direct questions may come in the disaster management. Okay, right. So economy not only important for GS paper 3, 250 marks of paper is there, almost like 100 plus marks are coming from economy. If you are very good in economy, this paper is done. Basically the toppers will get around 95 to 110. So if you are getting 100 plus marks in, just if you are reading economy very good, you can score in this paper only. And very easy also, because if you know, you can easily write in economy. You don't have to elaborate like history, you don't have to elaborate like polity, okay, which is not having set points to write. But economy is having set points to write. The only problem with the economy is that it is completely open ended, means sometimes they may ask you about stocks also, right? In the 2025 prelims they have asked about angel funds, okay, hedge funds, okay, and mutual funds, like that they are asking. So basically very highly open-ended. But when it comes to the mains, it is a very easy subject, because as there in the syllabus those kind of questions have come. We will just prove that all of that in a bit. So the topics that we have discussed yesterday in length, and on the basis of this topic, whether 2024 mains UPSC questions have come from this topic or they have come out of syllabus, that we are going to find out now. Okay, right. If you're having any doubts, please write in the live chat column. I would be very happy to clear all your doubts. Okay, chalo. Civil Service Mains Examination 2024 paper. So this is our complete economic syllabus. GS paper 3, we are having economy. I am your economic faculty only. So that is my forte subject. Here you can see economic development we are having. All of these syllabus is consisting of what? Economic development only. Rest all like technology, biodiversity, environment, security, disaster management is having this much syllabus. So just imagine 4 or 5 subjects are having this much syllabus only. Economy alone is having the complete 50% of the syllabus in GS paper 3. It means if you are very good in economy, whether it is prelims and mains, you can easily get through the GS paper 3, you can easily get through prelims. Now whatever we have discussed yesterday, today also I will recall all of this, no need to worry. Let us see in the 2024 mains UPSC examination, do we have the questions coming from the syllabus or coming from out of syllabus? This is actually we wanted to find out. Okay, the first one that they have given here is the first question: examine the pattern and trend of public expenditure on social services in the post-reform period in India. To what extent this has been in consonance with the achieving the objective of inclusive growth. Now, a normal student will definitely know how to write it. Okay, as you might be studying how to articulate your answer on the IQRA IAS channel only, we have been conducting a lot of themes with regard to how you can approach to a particular answer, what could be your introduction, what could be your content, all of these are going on. But from the economic perspective, I will try to tell you how this question can be visualized, then only you can present in your answer booklet, right? Examine the pattern and trend of public expenditure on social services. This is one question. Okay, and it has to be after the post-reform period. After post-reform period means current oriented only, they are not going into the 5-year planning. Now, whatever the expenditure has happened, whether the expenditure did it aim to achieve inclusive growth or not? Did it aim to achieve or directed to achieve inclusive growth or not? So you have to talk about the expenditures. Okay, you have to talk about the schemes on which the expenditures were done. Then you have to talk about whether they have literally promoted the inclusive growth or not. Now remember this point here, whenever we talk about inclusive growth is nothing but the growth that needs to come also from weaker sections of society. Now just imagine many of the students and aspirants does not know, sir, we will always talk about weaker sections of society, right? We will always talk about vulnerable sections of society. We will always talk about disadvantaged sections of society. What does it actually means? That's why the concepts clarity is very important in UPSC. If you don't know these, then you cannot attempt this particular question. The problem lies here. Okay, so you should know who are weaker sections. You should know who are vulnerable or who are disadvantaged. All of them are anyhow one. But from this point only you are able to frame your answer. That is what I am going to teach you. Very, very important. Okay, if you see our society on the basis of caste, if you see, okay, we are having what? SC, ST, OBC and forward class. Okay, when you talk about forward class literacy rate, OBC literacy rate, ST literacy rate, SC literacy rate, in all these castes you will be finding SC and SC literacy rate less than the other two castes. That's why these are called as they are still weak. In the same way, SC and ST entrepreneurship will be lesser than what this class. Their credit availability is lesser than this class. Their life expectancy is lesser than this class. That's why these are called as weaker sections of society. In the same way, if you talk about the country, India as a country where male and female are there, females are considered as weaker or vulnerable or disadvantaged sections. Why? Because female labor force participation rate is less than male, female literacy rate is less than female, female economic opportunities are less than male economic opportunities, female credit availability is less than male credit availability. So in many of the social and economic indicators, female are here weak. That's why female also comes under weaker section. Okay. In the same way, if you talk about the demographic groups, youth and adult more are catered by our governments, whereas old age, which is also called as care economy, and the children's, these two demographic groups are basically neglected by the successive government. Okay, that's why these two groups, demographic groups, comes under weaker, disadvantage, or vulnerable section. All of them are same synonyms, no need to worry. Okay, so now when you know that inclusive growth is nothing but making the women, making the children, making the old age, making the SC, making the ST, making the Muslims. Why? Because in the religion wise, Muslims are having lesser literacy rates, lesser life expectancy, lesser education, lesser economic participation in the economy, etc. So that comes from the weaker section. Okay. So you have to find out, examine the pattern and trend of public expenditure on social services. Social services are nothing but the services which are actually government have done this expenditure on health, okay, expenditure on education, expenditure on what, transportation. Okay, these are called as what, social services. Along with that, it also include telecommunication, phone also, social services. It also include what, banking services. It's a common social service that government of India has to provide to every citizen. But in the books, majorly they will talk about health and education. But if you're talking about other areas also like transportation, telecommunication, banking, finance, then it means what? Banking, finance and insurance and pension. If you're talking about this also, you are having a very, very good edge when compared to other students. Okay. So this question should be approached pattern and trends of public expenditure on social services. So 1991, after 1991 to 1992, you should be writing what? Okay, in this year, what are the expenses? You should make a table here. You can make health, you can make education, you can make transportation, you can make telecommunication, and you can say that in the 1991 to 1992 budget, this much is given to the health, this much is given to the education, this much is given to the transportation, telecommunication. Then you take another 2000 to 2001 you take, then write down the same. Then you take 2004 to 2000, write down the same. 2014 to 15, write down the same. 2023 or 24 to 25, write down the same. So make a table, okay, and discuss the pattern and trends, because the question is very, very explicit here. You have to discuss. So this is your A4 size paper. Okay, this is your A4 size paper. This is very important. Here you are going to write your introduction. After writing an introduction, you are going to put the headings pattern and trend of public expenditure, pattern and trend of public expenditure. Here you are going to write the table, and here you are going to explain in 2-3 points, 2-3 bullet points. And after that, the question says that whether this pattern and trends are basically directed to achieve the inclusive growth or not. This is what is important. So here you go on writing the schemes, So after 1991 only we got what? Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan we got, okay, 2001. So you can say that yes, education, okay, up to 14 years, okay, education has been made compulsory. Anyone can be a part of it. So it has empowered the poor population of our, weaker population of our group or not? Yes. In the same way, to provide employment opportunities, Manrega was introduced in 2004. Okay, then Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana introduced in 2005. Like that, you have to discuss some important schemes which actually push inclusive growth in our country. And you can also write the self-help groups has been identified as one of the backbone of women empowerment. 1980s onwards, self-help groups were promoted, cooperative societies also promoted. In the recent amendment, okay, in 10 years before, we have got, I exactly don't know, in the polity, we have inserted another important cooperatives. Cooperatives are inserted under Article 19. Under Article 19, cooperatives are inserted. Cooperatives are nothing but providing inclusive growth or not? Yes. So this is going to be your articulation or nothing but the framework of your answer. If you are writing this, no one can stop you for getting the good marks. Clear, all of you? All of you who are watching me, is it clear? How to approach this particular question and what are the various ingredients or elements you have to put in order to answer this question? It is UPSC 2024. Very easy one. Very easy one. Anyone can write this particular question. Very easy one. Now they are talked about public expenditure on social services in post-reform period and inclusive growth. Inclusive growth, whether it is there or not in our syllabus, let us see. Yesterday only I have told you inclusive growth is there here. Please, my dear students, see. My dear students, so what they have done, government budgeting and inclusive growth together they have asked. In government budgeting you are talking about what patterns and trends with regard to social services. Okay, after post reform period 1991 to 1990, that is what I told you. So from the government budgeting, how much is spent on various years, you have tried the trends, then you have tried the inclusive growth. So exactly what is there in the syllabus, that was asked in the examination. There is nothing out of syllabus has come. This is one point. Now let us examine the second one, is there or not. Okay, many of the aspirant and institutes does not actually talk about inflation much. Okay, but inflation is one of the important macroeconomic variable of our country, because lot of people are poor. A slight increase in the basket of commodities will impact poor population a lot. That is the reason for our country, inflation is important. That's how it becomes also important for our examination. So what are the causes of persistent high food inflation? Now when he is talking about persistent is nothing but the question is like, there is a continuous high inflation is seen with regard to what? Food. Food is nothing but whatever you consume, like cereals, pulses, oil, etc., so and so forth. So it means what? It is properly telling us to write the persistent high food inflation is there. No, so you have to write. You have tried take the recent data, because they did not ask you post reform or pre-reform period. So you can say that okay, India has been experiencing high food inflation over a period of time, which is given below. So write down here 2022 to 2023, or before COVID you take 2019 to 2020, 2020, 21. So give the trend, because we wanted to show that India is having, yes, the question whatever you are saying, we have substantiated your question with the justification by giving you the trend analysis. So what are the causes? Now just say the causes. What are the causes? You have to talk about causes of this persistent inflation. You have to talk about it. Then comment on the effectiveness of monetary policy of RBI to control this type of inflation. In one of my short also I have discussed, whenever RBI, now here you have to see that whenever in recent years, if there is inflation, RBI generally introduce what? Contractionary monetary policy. Contractionary monetary policy RBI introduced, because to lesser the demand, that's how the prices will decrease. So you have to say that in the year 2023, because the inflation was around 6.3%, so which is above the Urjit Patel inflation targeting index. That is why in the month of July, RBI decreased the repo rate by 25 basis point, and which led to what? RBI increased the repo rate or CRR by 25 basis point, which has sucked up amount of money from the economy, and over the next few months we have seen what? Lesser inflation. So that, because this particular question is all about data. If you don't have data in your hand, if you don't have data in or statistics in your hand, okay, values in your hand, you cannot write this answer at all. This is a gone case. This is completely gone case. Make sure that you don't skip all of this. Are you getting me very clearly? So now let us find out whether the inflation is as a topic is there in our main syllabus or not. Okay, inflation as a topic is there in our main syllabus or not. Let us see that. So inflation as a topic is not given in our main syllabus. But it is very, very important. You might have studied in your prelims only monetary policy. Monetary policy work is having two work: to control inflation, nothing but stabilization of prices, to go for what? Economic growth, to stimulate economic growth. Okay, so when you are studying monetary policy, and this question has been a very current question, it's like you can consider it as a current oriented, because high food inflation we are seeing means might have come in any of the newspaper. I have already given the prelims economic paper analysis. I have already told you very clearly that all the questions of economy with regard to UPSC prelims 2025 was taken from economic times. And if you are very thorough with economic times, and after that little bit of business standard, if you're taking 20 questions, like 40 marks you can easily get. I have given the proof also while taking the class. That is a public class only, on the YouTube channel only I have taken. I have shown you with the cutouts also. I have shown you that, see, this particular question has been taken from Economic Times. I have taken the cutout of it and has related it to what? UPSC economic question. So make sure that you don't skip this two paper, and I guess from this two paper only this particular question has been picked up. Okay. Clear? Now, what are the various factors responsible for the successful implementation of land reforms? Very, very dead what topic, has no importance at this point of time until and unless the government does not go for elaborate or second or third generation land reforms. So you just understand that what are the factors responsible for the successful implementation of land reforms. Whether this topic is there in the syllabus or not, let us see it. Okay, so my dear students, land reforms are clearly, explicitly in a different unit mentioned in what? UPSC main syllabus. So land reforms, whenever you talk about land reforms, you talk about need of land reforms, you talk about objectives of land reforms, you talk about what I say is that acts related to land reforms. Here you will be having what? Tenancy acts will be there, land ceiling acts will be there. Land ceiling acts will be there. Okay, here you are having what? Willful eviction. Cheats acts will be there. Cheats acts will be there. Okay, so when you're talking about and performance of land reforms, achievements of land reforms, all these are there. Land reforms are successful in Bengal and Kashmir and Kerala. We say Bengal and Kerala, why? Because they are communist government. Jammu and Kashmir, because they have a separate article for them at that time, so they have easily distributed the excess land to the population. Excellent to the population. So a direct question. It's a very, very direct question in the mains examination. Now, explain the role of millets for ensuring health and nutrition security in India. Just type, okay, in the Google saying that government of India measures to promote millet. That much you type. You will get PIB, Yojna, n number of data you will get. It means it is a very, very current oriented question. I don't have to tell you that whether they have picked up from the GS paper or not. Why? Because agriculture is there in our GS paper mains. So it is a part of agriculture. But a latest mission launched by government of India to promote millet, that they have directly asked. I hope this is clear to you. All the students who are watching me, is it clear? Students, please do write in the comment section whether things whatever you are learning is clear, or do you need any repetitions. I will be more happy to tell you. Every day I'll come at 1 o'clock. Okay, basically today I have some work, so I am coming early, but make sure that you try to come at 1 o'clock and learn from me and go. Every class is important. It definitely add lot of value at the time of what? Examination, because continuously economic related specialized content I will be giving you, which is my expertise area. Okay. Now, the fourth one, let us see. What is the present world scenario of intellectual property rights? This is not in our economy. What is the technology being employed for electronic toll collection on highways? So this is also we do not have, because it is a part of technology. Industrial pollution of river water. This is environment. What role do environmental NGOs and activists play in environment impact assessment? This is also environment. Explain how narco-terrorism has emerged as a serious threat across country, which is nothing but from security. One question has come. Describe the context and the salient features of Digital Personal Data Protection Act. It is also technology. Discuss the merits and demerits of 4 labor codes. This again becomes what? Economy. So if you don't know the labor codes, if you have not read the labor codes, how can you write the merits and demerits of labor code? Okay, that's why this labor codes has been initiated. Very, very important. Okay, for the examination point of view, there is only one labor code is there. 3 to 4 labor codes are there, but there is only one particular area is there. If you have concentrated on that, because in India labor is important, because they don't get minimum wages. So government generally regulate that what amount of money should be given to them per day, what facilities should be given to them per day, ESI benefits should be given to them. So basically government govern the labor market in a very big manner in our country. Okay, so you have to know it. Completely economics. This is yesterday only I have discussed about it. What is the need for expanding the regional air connectivity in India? In this context, discuss the Udan scheme and its achievement. This Udan scheme has completed 10 years. Okay, or 7 years it has completed as I guess in the PIB a complete 2-3 paper information is given with regard to Udan scheme. उड़े देश का हर नागरिक रीजनल कनेक्टिविटी स्कीम RCS. In the same way, Startup India, Make in India has also completed 10 years. So make sure that you are preparing questions on that particular areas. Directly a big question will come. Once upon a time, just like we used to get from Manrega, in the same way you will also get questions on the schemes that have completed 10 years and 15 years. Concentrate on that schemes in a very lengthy manner. Not for the prelims also, go deeper in the schemes, and for the mains read everything with regard to the schemes. Any scheme which is 7 years old, okay, will be a direct question in the mains examination, just like here, or in the prelims they may ask you deeper statements. So you are well placed here. Okay, now what are the major challenges faced by the Indian irrigation system? Whether this is there in our syllabus or not, let us see. As I have told you yesterday that this is explicitly mentioned, very clearly mentioned, irrigation related aspects. So you can see that irrigation system, you can see that different types of irrigation. So direct question has come from what? Syllabus only in the mains 2024. The same thing happened in the 2023 mains also. I am just trying to build confidence in you that if you're preparing for economy, if you're sticking to the syllabus and with the right mentorship, with the right quality of education, this subject is completely cakewalk. And you understand the point here. Majority of GS paper 3 questions are directed towards what? Economy only. Now you can see that elucidate the importance of buffer stock. Whether buffer stock is there in our syllabus or not, let us see. Buffer stock, why we have to keep buffer stock? Why you will keep excess rice in your home? Because in case of uncertainties you require or not, yes, just like what has happened in COVID, buffer stock was there. That's why a lot of people was given what? That food free ration, because people are not going to work out and a lot of people are there in what? Unorganized sector. That's why they don't have livelihood, and many of the people also in our country, adult also in our country, are actually earning on daily basis. So they are called as daily wage earners. So when the COVID was there, they cannot go out. When they cannot go out, then who should be taking care of? So it is according to the constitution, it is a state responsibility with regard to the safety and security of the people. It means what? Government is responsible for our safety and security. Now if I am dying without food, means it is the government responsible. That's what. So you can see that whether we are having buffer stock or not, here we can see that very, very clearly issues of buffer. So when you're talking about buffer, why do we keep buffer? What are the objectives of buffer stock? How much buffer stock we keep? In Food Corporation of India, there are 3 compartments are there. In that one compartment is given a buffer stock, and when we have used all this, so direct question has come. Direct question with regard to buffer stock. Clear? Then the world is facing an acute shortage of clean and safe fresh water. This is coming from what? Environment. This is coming from environment. What are asteroids? How real is the threat of them causing extinction of life? So this is a very basic generalized question. You can write recently one asteroid is about to hit but did not hit. Some examples you can write like that. What is disaster resilient? 2 questions has come from disaster resilience. One this one and before. Flooding, again disaster management. 1 question, 2 question. So for disaster management also came. Also make sure that you emphasize on disaster management also when you're preparing for the mains examination, because almost like 3 questions have come from disaster management. Almost around 6 questions has come from economy. Then again border issues with India and China and Pakistan. So what are they are asked directly one program called as Border Area Development Program, Border Infrastructure Management Scheme. If you're writing this 2 in 6 lines also, you will get what? Full marks. So again it is what? Internal security, our security. Social media and encrypting messaging services poses serious security challenge. Obviously what I am texting you on WhatsApp, Government of India will never know it, because if I type please do come into the class daily, the P will be coded like 1 2 3 4 5 XYZ like that. So this is called as what? Encryption. So what I have heard is 2024, what I have seen is, what I have analyzed is 2024 mains GS paper 3 economic questions are on higher side, but other areas, whether it is technology, whether it is environment, whether it is disaster management, they have given what is 3 4 4 they have given. So equally placed. There are around 7 questions with regard to economy. 7 into 10 marks is 70 marks. Okay, technology, environment, you can do 3 so you will get around out of 250 marks easily. This paper can be done. 200 plus marks you can score in this particular paper. 200 plus marks you can score in this particular paper, because the questions are very short. It does not have much complexity also, just like whatever you see in general essay paper 1, or you see in ethics or polity or governance or history, they will ask whatever they want to. But if you see this GS paper 3, this is the paper that you have to concentrate to get through the mains, otherwise it is very difficult. And I also told you that environment, technology, economy, mains is also important for prelims. So if you are preparing thoroughly prelims, these 3 subjects, okay, you are this paper, like how much is there here? How much is there here? The cutoff of UPSC mains is almost like 800 is there. Okay, if you're doing 200 plus here, and all other subjects, if you're doing 100, you will easily get through. Out of 250 marks, you can easily get 100 marks in other papers. This is a very short paper, very easiest paper, and they are sticking to the syllabus. They are not going outside the syllabus. This is most important, because in history they will they may just write one statement, art and culture of our country, or heritage and culture of our country, and what kind of heritage, what kind of culture, what kind of art we have to study, we never know. How much we have to study, we will never know. We have to remember each and every terminology in art and architecture, so that is very difficult. And governance is very elaborative, more schemes, more policies you have to write. But GS paper 3 becomes very handy and very high scoring subject for all of you. Make sure that you don't miss this, and try to complete environment, technology and economy in a very full-fledged manner, because all of these are also having lot of impact on general essay paper 1. I have already shown you yesterday that general essay paper 1 continuously you will get either one question from technology or economy and environment. So either in 3 subjects one question will be there. It means 125 marks are there in your hand. 125 marks on general essay, 200 marks here, 325 marks. Let us suppose you get around 250 marks. So you are very close to what? Many of the to the cutoff, if you concentrate on other areas also very well. So I hope this is all clear to you. Tomorrow I'll see you at 1 o'clock with current affairs. So strategy with regard to the mains we have completed yesterday and today. Tomorrow we are going to do the current affairs. Current affairs includes both MCQs and also the mains related questions also. So make sure that you practice along with me. Do come regularly, hit the bell icon, and do share with your friends so that they will also take the benefit of it. Do join the foundation courses of IQRA IAS, NCERT plus foundation, and just foundation courses. They're very qualitative, led by esteemed faculties. Okay, that will definitely make lot of changes in your preparation. Thank you. Take care.